Punk Revolution now. Today we are going to be reviewing we're going to be listing the top 6 EPs to come out in 2021. These are some freaking great EPs. I am very happy with the EP output this year. 1 second. I got my chai black tea. After my top albums for 2020 list, I smoked a cigar for a second and I've been sick since. So I've been doing this tea to heal me. And I also got my vaccines and boosters. I'm all set. I'm healthy. What was I saying? Okay, the top 6 EPs of 2021. And you know, I was looking through this list of the top EPs and I was happy to see that there's more punk on these 6 EPs than I expected. And I was really happy to see that because, you know, there wasn't too much punk on my top list of top 20 albums. But there's more punk. So maybe either one, I haven't listened to as many EPs this year, so if I was going to listen to an EP, I was more likely to go out of my way to listen to a punk one because those are the ones I like most. Or maybe, and I like this theory the most, is that it's the punk revolution having an inspiration on new bands who are still early enough into their career that they're releasing EPs, and there's a punk revolution that we're doing, and we're inspiring the future bands to make more punk, and that's probably what it is. So here are the top 6 EPs of 2021. Let's get started with number 6. I'm not super happy to put this one on the list, but it's objectively one of the best EPs I've heard this year, which is Leyla Hornet's album Delilah, or EP Delilah. I'm not happy to put it on my list because one, they freaking bullied me to freaking reviewing this with harassment and gifs that were entertaining. I will say the gifs and pictures are funny, but also kind of hurtful because I don't look like freaking this. Look at that. That freaking. Maybe I do look like that. Also because they have origins in the incel core scene, which I despise for the pain they've put me through. But this is objectively one of the best EPs I've listened to this year. The way it blends together themes of death rock, like the Christian death kind of cover, you can say, of their song Romeo's Distress. It's freaking genius. The way they blend it together with like surf rock and like lo-fi indie rock themes and stuff. Like the production is super cool. The melodies are super catchy. This is all around a freaking great EP, and I'm not gonna deny that because of political views, I guess, if you want to call it. So we're gonna go ahead and say that this is number 6 best EP of the year. Great job, Leyla Hornet. It's me vomiting because I just said that. Now we're moving on to number 5. Number 5 is Hazing Over's album Pestilence. Hazing Over, they used to be... Hazing Over is a band that kind of arose from the dust of the former fantastic screamo band Shinguard. Shoegaze, Shinguard, screamo. Maybe there's a little bit of shoegaze influence in there. Maybe not. I don't know. But anyway, Shinguard was one of my favorite screamo bands of like the past 5 years. They released a freaking fantastic album in 2020, and they were just like outstanding. But one thing led to another. I don't know the details. Shinguard is no more, but a couple of the members from Shinguard went on and formed Hazing Over, and Hazing Over takes a pretty dramatic shift in sound from screamo to deathcore. Deathcore, a genre that, honestly, I'm not one who really loves deathcore too much. I mean, in theory, you think I'd like deathcore because it's supposed to be on paper some sort of blend between metalcore and death metal, and I love both those genres, but most deathcore I listen to is pretty over-the-top, corny, silly, stupid, and I will say Hazing Over does do a little bit of that over-the-top craziness. But first off, they just are so fucking talented. Like, clearly this is still the same extremely talented musicians from Shinguard with all these crazy time signatures. They're very clearly interested in like doing some sort of like avant-garde deathcore, which to you might sound freaking diarrhea, but to me it literally makes me like I love this EP. It's a freaking blast. It gives me some hope. Maybe we're in for like another wave of deathcore that's gonna actually be like super innovative and freaking epic as fudge. Next up on the list we have Turquoise's EP Turquoise. Talk about a freaking hidden gem. This is an EP from a super obscure Brazilian band that was basically spamming me with their EP, kind of similar to how Leyla Hornet was going about it. And you know what? I'm Brazilian, and I love Brazilians. And I was like, fudge it. I'll listen to it, and I listened to it, and I was like, holy crap, this is one of the best freaking punk releases of the year. The way it blends together, this cool, noise rock. It's like grounded in, like, the genre of noise rock, but it blends together, like, indie rock, and shoegaze, and post-punk, and psychedelic rock, like, super cohesively. I love the atmosphere in this album. Tons of experimentation going on in the background of all these songs. Super groovy, fun, catchy bass lines, great vocal melodies, fantastic, powerful vocal performances. Like, these songs are so tightly written, so catchy. The performances are great. The production is great. The experimentation is great. The blend of, like, this is just a freaking fantastic EP. A fantastic, like, one of the best punk EPs I've heard all year. One of the best punk releases I've heard all year from this obscure-ass little band from Brazil. And isn't that what punk's all about? Being Brazilian and smoking weed and making some psychedelic noise punk? I like to believe so. Great job, Turquoise. Fantastic. You know, I hope you all continue to put out music and everything. Please continue sending it my way, because y'all are freaking great, and I enjoy listening to your music a lot. Next up, we have Kero Bonito's EP, Civilisation 2. Kero Bonito by now is a very well-established band with a huge backing of people who are both into experimental pop and indie artsy music and stuff. I mean, they're just super talented, great vocalist, great instrumentation, everything. And I've always, I've followed them, I've enjoyed everything they've put out. I've never been a huge Kero Bonito fan. This EP here, Civilisation 2, is like the first EP release I've heard from them that I was like, holy shiz, I love this group. This is a freaking genius EP. We've got the opening track, The Princess and the Clock, which is one of the freaking catchiest songs I've heard all freaking year. The chorus is going to drill inside your head for the ever of time, so it's just like, it's extremely catchy synth pop, but you'd be making a mistake to just write it off as a super catchy synth pop album EP, because it's full of crazy weird experimentation with weird ass synth sounds of video gamey, nerdy, kind of internety kind of synthiness with these cool, weird melodies. And the last track, Well Rested, this is only a 3-track EP, by the way, so if you got 15 minutes, just throw this on, walk into the store, you're boom. You had a great listen to this. Well Rested is one of the best songs of the freaking year, in my opinion. That song is like a 7-minute house track that just is like weird as hell, with like tons of experimentation that is just hypnotic as fuck. This whole EP is just like, this EP is the perfect blend between maximizing catchiness and fun, while also maximizing experimentation and uniqueness, which is like what's exactly what experimental art pop should be. So great job, Kero Bonito. Number 2 is Wilsiak's EP, I Don't Feel Anything. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and joys, and everybody in between, and Wilsiak's EP, I Don't Feel Anything. This is a fucking phenomenal EP. I've been following Wilsiak forever, since they're pretty much since they were getting started. I actually played some shows with them. They're incredible live, so of course I'm gonna be following them. If I've played shows with them, they're my friends IRL, and to an extent. So Wilsiak, if you're watching this, what's up, Colin? See what I mean? I know them. And what was this? Yeah, so they've been just kicking ass with every release, and then this EP is just like phenomenal. Like, this is just, they like evolved to like they like took it to the next level. If you're a fan of post-hardcore, noise rock, just chaotic sasscore, if you want to call it, what mathcore, it's just like, this is just like what Wilsiak manages to do here is just combine a ton of like the most epic post-hardcore influences, dazzling Killmen with these kind of groovy, jazzy bass lines that are like boom boom Daughters, and Jesus Lizard with the vocalist that's just so powerful and like losing his mind. Wilsiak is like actually really defined their own like specific sound. When it needs to like build like kind of like a dystopia noise rock, like a sludgy, crusty punk that's real dark and heavy, they can do that. When they need to just explode with this complex jazzy mathcore, they can do that. And every single song on the CP from start to finish is just high quality, top notch, post-hardcore, math rock, mathcore, noise rock, whatever you want to call it. Some of my favorite genres, and Wilsiak is doing it better than anyone else right now. So go listen to Wilsiak if that sounds interesting to you, because I promise you it's gonna blow your hole. All right, we've made it to number 1. Let's take a look. Number 1 is, Inaya's I Could Take on the Taliban. I actually don't think that's what's supposed to be number 1. Let's take that out. Number 1 is Fireman's Overcoming the Cycle of Sun Collapse. That was my EP I released January 1st of this year, which I actually really do. I do love this EP a lot. I'm very proud of it, but you go to hell. Everyone knows if you put your favorite out, if you put your own music on your list, you go to hell. So I'm not doing that, unfortunately, but please listen to it because I do think it is the best, so F you. Number 1 is actually Knocked Loose. I don't need this anymore. Knocked Loose, A Tear in the Fabric of Life. Knocked Loose, holy crap. What did they do with this fucking EP? What the hell? I've been following Knocked Loose for a long time now. They've been making fantastic, good old-fashioned hardcore, metalcore that you can just freaking bang your ass to with fantastic breakdowns and stuff. And they've always been a lot of fun. Clearly a super talented and heavy band. But with A Tear in the Fabric of Life, they've taken their heaviness and talent, and I'll put it this way. They went, like, they evolved. They evolved. This is no longer just like fun, epic music to enjoy. This is fun, epic music to blow your mind and literally innovate the genres of metalcore, deathcore, maybe a little bit of mathcore influence. Whatever you want to say this is, it's just pure geniusness. I would always say Knocked Loose is fun, but this is the first time I can say they're actually geniuses. Because remember when I was talking about Hazing Over's EP, Pestilence, I said that, in theory, I should love deathcore because it's a blend of death metal and metalcore. Two genres I think, when they do it right, they really kick ass. But unfortunately, so often I just see deathcore just evolve into total stupidity, going over the top, with just trying to be heavy and as ridiculous as possible, which is entertaining, but not really a genre that has the same artistic merit as some of the best albums in death metal and metalcore. I would say Knocked Loose's A Tear in the Fabric of Life is deathcore that actually successfully perfects blending the most artistic and most beautiful and most interesting elements of death metal with the most interesting and exciting and beautiful elements of metalcore. Like, this is like the best. I mean, this is, I would say it's mostly metalcore with like a touch of deathcore influence, but the way just the tones they use, the death metal tones they use in this EP just feel so like authentically what I love so much about death metal. Heavy as fuck, dark, massive, it's just nuts. It's just nuts. This is like, listen, and the production is just flawless. The tones are flawless. The mixing is flawless. This whole EP is just like, it's exhilarating. It's like you're listening and you cannot wait to see what happens next. And it's one of those EPs you finish listening, you're like, I gotta fucking put this on immediately again, because holy shit, that was fucking epic. And you know, I said with Hazing Over, maybe we're gonna see a wave of deathcore revival that takes itself a little bit more seriously and with more experimentation and artsiness rather than just being epic farts. I mean, this is the best EP of the year, and honestly, this is better than the majority of the albums I've listened to this year. This is like seriously, if I were to make a list of all records, EPs, and LPs, this would absolutely be in the top 5 because it's phenomenal. Great job. We have made it through the list. Everyone, I'm going to be doing the whole, you know, I got a life, unfortunately. I got to do real stuff. I'm going to be going home for Christmas, New Year's break, so my video output might be a little slower next week. I hate having obligations to do social and love. I want to just make videos and listen to music. But I will obviously, you know, keep up with me on Twitter, and folks, we got to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year because I will be writing and recording and releasing a professionally produced new metal song that's a diss track against Anthony Fantano if we reach 5,000 by the end of the year. So please, for the love of fart, do that because I would love to, I like fantasy. Holy shit. I just got a notification that there was a armed robbery like a few blocks away. Also, I'm releasing an EP soon that's electronic called Joker Card, so please listen to that when it comes out January 7th. Okay, what a weird video. Punk Revolution now! Thank you for watching.